I'm into this technique of sending a vocal to a delay, not listening to the dry delay, but sending that delay to a reverb.
Imagine adding these dreamy vocal effects to your next track.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
Listen to the vocals alone and notice each element working its magic.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself.
These are the exact settings that Tom Elmhirst uses in his vocal chain. He uses a 10,000 millisecond decay time in his reverb settings. I'm Yek, and I'm here to show you how to mix your vocals like a pro. You've heard these settings on tracks by Travis Scott, Adele, and many other chart-topping artists. All the plugins we use offer free trials. Also, I replicate it with stock plugins and Waves-only plugin, so there's no excuse not to try them. Let's get started. Let's talk about the first plugin in the vocal chain. This powerful EQ plugin is essential for shaping your vocal sound. Now, EQ settings can differ greatly from artist to artist, male to female, and even between different keys. So, you don't need to copy these settings exactly for your own vocals. Just grasp the overall concept. Remember, the EQ approach varies depending on the vocalist and the song's key.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in. Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in.
For male vocals, here are some quick tips to get you started. Start by applying a low-cut filter to remove any unnecessary rumble or low-end noise. Typically, setting this around 80 Hz works well. Identify and cut any muddy or boxy frequencies, usually found between 200–500 Hz, to clean up the sound. Usually reducing just a couple of decibels will do the trick. Add a gentle boost in the higher frequencies, around 8 or 12 K, to add some brightness and clarity to the vocals. Add some air in the higher frequencies in 16 K and above. Doing this with gentle curve adds some pleasant brightness to your vocals. These are just starting points. Always trust your ears and adjust according to what sounds best for your specific track. Load up an instance of the UA1176 compressor. You can use any other emulations like Waves plugins. One unique feature of this plugin is how the attack and release times operate inversely compared to many other compressors. For example, when you set the attack time to 5, it provides a medium attack time. However, increasing the attack setting to 7 makes the attack super fast, which is ideal for taming sharp peaks in your audio. Now, let's set our attack time to 3. This means we are going for a relatively slower attack. This setting allows more of the initial transients to pass through before the compression kicks in. Next, we adjust the release time to 7.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself.
Again, remembering the reversed functionality, this means the release is as fast as possible. A fast release time ensures that the compressor recovers quickly after reducing the gain, making it ready to catch the next transient. With these settings, an attack time of 3 and a release time of 7, we aim to achieve a few decibels of gain reduction. This approach will help control the dynamics without overly squashing the signal, allowing for a natural and musical compression effect. Load an instance of CL1B compressor. You can use UAD version or SoftUB1. It is a software emulation of the renowned TubeTech CL1B compressor hardware. Download all these plugins via the link in the description. The TubeTech CL1B is a classic optical tube compressor known for its smooth musical compression, often used in professional recording studios for its ability to handle vocals and other instruments with warmth and transparency. Load it with the displayed settings and aim for maximum 3 decibels of gain reduction.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself. Going through the same things.
Despite our previous compressor, which has super fast settings, this compressor works slowly to smooth out the dynamics of the performance, making the overall volume more consistent. By the way, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out new content. You might be familiar with the Soothe 2 plugin, but setting it up can sometimes be challenging. For those who don't know, Soothe 2 is a dynamic resonance suppressor designed to reduce harshness, resonance, and sibilance in audio material. The plugin works by automatically detecting problematic frequencies and applying a dynamic EQ that adjusts in real time. Use the displayed settings for Soothe 2 and aim for maximum 5 decibels of gain reduction.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself. Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in.
While these settings are effective, like an EQ, they should be adjusted according. Let's speed things up. Load an instance of Auto-Tune Pro with the settings shown. These settings are ideal for strong vocal performances. Setting the retune speed around 269 reduces pitch correction, allowing some notes to pass without correction. For precise tuning, consider using shorter settings, like 20, to ensure optimal performance on your vocals.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
I have precisely replicated his vocal mixing template in Logic Pro X, Pro Tools, and Studio One. Additionally, I have created versions using only Waves plugins and only stock plugins, allowing you to achieve the same signature sound with either setup. All free for members. Say goodbye to buses. Forget the traditional buzzing system. Let's dive into a simpler, more efficient way to handle reverb, delay, and other effects. Let's quickly recap how the traditional buzzing system works. Typically, you'd create a new bus or auxiliary track in your DAW, apply your desired effects like reverb or delay on this bus, and set them to 100% wet. Then, you send a portion of your original track, such as your vocal track, to the bus by adjusting the send levels.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in.
Finally, you control how much of the effect you hear by adjusting the send levels or using automation to change the send amounts throughout the track. While this method works, it involves a lot of setup and can get pretty complicated, especially when you have multiple tracks and effects to manage. But there's a faster, more intuitive method. Instead of creating a bus, we're going to duplicate the original track we want to apply effects to. Then, apply your effects directly on the duplicated track and set them to 100% wet, meaning the effect is fully applied. Now you can use the volume fader of the duplicated track to control the level of the effect. Whenever you need a specific effect in a particular section, just trim the duplicated track or create additional duplicates for different moments in your song. Controlling the effect levels with the volume fader of the duplicated track is straightforward and efficient. Seeing the waveform of the duplicated track helps you precisely edit and apply effects exactly where you need them. If you have downloaded the templates, simply drag your vocals into them and you're almost done. Only adjust the compressor threshold as needed and apply your own EQ settings. In his original mixing template, he has a setting called 26 inches, where he uses extreme reverb to create dreamy vocals. Start by loading an instance of FabFilter Pro Q3 with the displayed settings. Use a low cut and high cut to shape the reverb sound before it hits the reverb plugin.
Circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
The low cut prevents muddiness and low frequency content from going through the compressor, while the high cut avoids sibilances cluttering the reverb. Next, load an instance of Soothe 2 with the displayed settings to tame the resonances before they reach the reverb. Finally, load an instance of the Lexicon 480 Reverb plugin. Great emulations include UAD or LX 480 Dual Engine Reverb by Relab Development. Set it to the displayed settings and reduce its level.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
In his mixing template, there's a setting called 27 inches that adds width and thickness to the vocals. Start by loading an instance of FabFilter Pro Q3 with the displayed settings, followed by Soothe 2. Then, load the Valhalla delay plugin with the displayed settings. This setup replicates the Delta T delay unit, enhancing the vocals with extra thickness and width. Here's how it sounds with and without the effect.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in, I lose myself. Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in.
In Tom Elmhirst Vocal Mixing Template, there's a channel called 27B, which refers to chorus effect. Just like previous steps, filter out low and highs with FabFilter Pro Q, followed by Soothe 2 with the displayed settings before hitting any plugin. Now open UAD Brigade Chorus plugin. The Brigade Chorus is popular among musicians and producers who want to add vintage chorus effects to their tracks without the hassle of maintaining vintage gear. It can be used in various genres, from rock and pop to ambient and electronic music.
The circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself.
The good news is, although it's a universal audio plugin, you don't need any universal audio hardware to run it. Also, they offer trial versions so you can use it for free for a period of time. Set it to shown settings, and it's done. Now control the amount using the volume fader to the desired amount.
The circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself.
By the way, I have some slots available for mixing vocals, but I only do this for artists that are serious. Check out the link in the description for more information. This channel, called 28A, is designed to add a soft quarter note or eighth note delay. Start by loading FabFilter Pro Q3 and use a low cut to remove everything below 210 Hz. Also, reduce the high frequencies with a drastic high shelf band. This helps each delay and reverb occupy its own space. Next, add Soothe 2 with the displayed settings. Then, load the H-Delay plugin with the shown settings. Finally, load the UAD AKG BX20 reverb with the displayed settings. But if you don't have UAD hardware, alternatively, you can use Waves Magma Spring reverb with the displayed settings.
Going through the same things, the circles that I dance in.
This effect, called 28B in his mixing template, adds distortion to the effect underneath the main vocals. With filtering and reverb applied, it enhances the vocals with a beautiful texture without sounding harsh. Here's how to set it up. Start by loading FabFilter Pro Q with the displayed settings, followed by Soothe 2. Next, load the SansAmp plugin with the shown settings. Since SansAmp is only available for Pro Tools, you can use the free alternative plugin TSE Bod 3, which mimics SansAmp's sound. While TSE Bod 3 offers less control for advanced tweaking, it works amazingly for this purpose. Set it up as shown. Finally, load the AMS DMX digital delay and pitch shifter with the displayed settings. Use Waves Audio Magma Spring reverb. This reverb setting, used by Tom Elmhirst for many years, has been featured on many hits, including Rolling in the Deep. Here's how to recreate it. Start by filtering out low and high frequencies as shown. You can low cut up to 800 Hz to carve out more space if needed. Next, load the TSE Bod 3 plugin or SansAmp with the displayed settings. Follow this with the Valhalla delay setting. The final step is to add Eventide Black Hole with a 100% wet effect and a high cut filter. This creates an immersive reverb sound for your tracks. Here are the settings.
History repeating. The people are going through the same things. The circles that I dance in, I lose myself. I lose myself. History repeating.
Bus effects. There are only 3 bus effects left, and if you found this video helpful, consider hitting the like button. Although adding effect from auxiliary channels can be time-consuming, it can be beneficial when you want to have some effects which remains in the whole track, and you don't need to draw them automation to control their amount or bypassing them. Since then, he uses usually these 3 bus effects without bypassing them. He may automate their amount in some projects. The first bus effect is spring reverb to add some vintage vibe to the track. Spring reverb is nostalgic, but timeless. It makes some things sound vintage and other things sound fresh. He uses Pro Tools Space plugin with the preset displayed, but since many of you may work with other softwares, I replicate the settings for Waves Audio Magma Spring.
Going through the same things. The circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
Load an instance of Little Plate with the settings displayed. It's a digital reverb plugin that emulates the classic EMT 140 plate reverb unit. The EMT 140 is renowned for its rich, smooth, and lush reverb sound.
Going through the same things. The circles that I dance in, I lose myself.
Although we used Little Plate in the previous step, we now add another EMT 140 reverb emulation with the displayed settings. While the UAD version doesn't offer a trial version, I've replicated the settings for Waves Abbey Road reverb plates. Here are the settings.